What is going on, all you lovely people out there? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mike O'Hora, and this is a lovely penguin, and you are now watching the breakdown of the BTS music video, their very, very first single debut, No More Dream. This video was really, really fun. It was a great song, really cool message, and it's a fun little video. So we're gonna check it out here real fast, and I'm gonna tell you guys, not really fast, but you know what I mean. I'll be telling you guys the art department point of view of this video. It's really cool. So let's jump right in. All right, so right off the rip, the boys, they start off right inside of a school bus. It's a really simple setup. You know, actually, it's funny, too, with the school bus. You can actually rent those for, like, a couple of days for just a couple $100. Yeah, it's a nice big prop thing you can get. Because, I mean, unless you're going to be, like, buying one and renovating it to make it into your own little house, you could just rent them for just a couple days really quick. So they definitely use this thing a lot. We're going to be seeing it a good amount during this music video. But the dressing in it is really simple. It's a lot of posters. It's a lot of posters. You just... You know, you could either use double-sided tape, you could use carpet tape if you have, or you can even use this stuff called butyl, which is like a sticky substance adhesives thing that sticks really well, and it doesn't really ruin whatever you're sticking things to. But yeah, they just put up a bunch of stickers. They definitely strung some lights. And the cool thing about these lights, actually, it's funny, they look exactly like the ones that you can get at Target, but like if you unscrew one bulb, you could still have lights going on down there. So they have a couple that are unscrewed, so it looks just like a little less clean. It looks a little bit more run down than it would, and then they just put streamers around. Easy enough setup. I like this shot of the bus coming in, just because you really get a nice little close up of the neighborhood. We'll take a better look at it from a wider shot a little bit later. But it's funny too. It's like you see these boxes. Those boxes you can clearly tell have never been used before. They just went to like a box company and they just bought a bunch of boxes and put them together. Tape. One quick strand of tape across the top, one across the bottom, bada boom, bada bing. You got boxes. Easy to run through. Easy to run through with the truck. And then all this other stuff, I will say, too, I was wondering about it as I was watching the video. I wonder if they actually went to any thrift stores or anything like that. Because you can get kind of, like, rattier-looking stuff at, like, thrift stores and stuff. I mean, you can also rent them from prop houses and whatnot. But you could easily get stuff from there. Or you could even, honestly, you could go to... It's a little less fun. But, like, basically, you can, like, go to a dump and you can pay to, like, go in and pick stuff out if you want. So, I don't know if they do that kind of stuff. I've personally haven't actually done that. We've mainly shopped at, like, thrift stores and stuff. But a lot of the times, the furniture will be kind of scuffed up and marked up, scratched, broken a little bit, you know. But it makes perfect use for what we're using it in the video, so... I kind of wonder about that, especially you'll see some more furniture later on that's a little bit roughed up. Or they could have just bought new stuff and roughed it up. There's that too. So here we get a great view of this set. These houses and stuff, they're actually a lot easier to make than you would expect. You can literally just make the front face of the house and then maybe one side of it, and it will show up on camera like there's more to the house. Also, excuse me, the roof as well. You have to make a bit of the roof too. But whatever you can't see from the front doesn't have to be there because you're not going to see it. So these are actually really nicely done. I will say it would have been nice if they'd kind of put a little bit of wear onto them, just because at least as a set person, set dresser, or art department or art director, if you would, they all look really new. So like they definitely put on like the ivy and stuff to kind of dress it a little bit, but could have used a little bit of more work, a little dirtying up, because most houses don't look brand spanking new all the time, you know? I mean, obviously they're on a set, they have these ramps and stuff that they built, which is awesome, but it would have just added that little bit of like extra feel to make it feel like they're actually in some neighborhood, you know? And then on top of it, too, the floor is just a floor. It's the black floor that you'd see in any studio. So, like, they didn't put down anything to make it look like there was a street there, or pavement, or anything like that as well. Would have just added to the realism of it. But like I said before, I know they're working on a budget, so it's things that you don't really want to do if you don't have to do it. And also, it jumps away from these shots pretty quick, so it's like not super noticeable. Not saying it's a bad thing, just saying there's a little things that you could do to improve, if you would. Now this room, I think they do a forward, or maybe just like different like angles in this room. But this one, you actually, in the behind the scenes, you can see that it is a set that they actually built, which is really sick. So that means that those like glowing squares in the ceiling, those are actual like light fixtures that they have above them. So they rigged up the lights above it, and then they put I always forget what they call those sheets, but there's a certain type of plastic that they'll put through to not have it be harsh lighting or whatever. But that's more of a lighting thing. That wouldn't be on the art department. We would just cut the holes and make sure that there's holes there so that the lights can come through. But again, this one is a sick set. It's the hardest part about building these sets is definitely going to be the ramps. You know, the ramps are not super easy to build, but like once you know how to, then they become easy. If that makes any sense to you guys. They also are functioning ramps because you see people during the video like riding on them or climbing on them or whatever. Like they're touching them, they're being on them. So if they were just for show, you could build it so that you just bend the wood, the plywood that's going to be on there in order to make it look like a ramp, and then you wouldn't really need to put any supports or anything inside of it. But seeing as it is being used, you need to make sure that you have lots of supports in there so that when people go onto the ramp, they don't just crash through it, you know, or break it or whatever, you know. But other than that, the art department went really, really strong here. They did some really cool graffiti and stuff like that. It's just spray paint, simple as it is. It's not the hardest thing to do, but it definitely made it look really beat up, used location. It looks like an old abandoned warehouse type of a deal, which is pretty much exactly what they're going for the shot. And then plus they have a little bit of fog in here to kind of really add to that, like that dirty, dingy kind of place feeling to it, if you would. And then also, like you see in the background, they got little scraps of paper and stuff like that, and it's supposed to just be debris, a couple of tires and stuff. Really, a really, really nice set. I really like this one. Probably the most out of all the shots that we see here. Now this is another one too that, like, at first I thought maybe it was on location again, but as we've taken a freeze frame of the video, you could see, obviously, it's the school bus again, right? That's our guy, our school bus of dreams. They probably rented it for 2 days because they basically shoot all these things in like 2 days. But you can tell, again, just from the flooring, just how it's just flat black, that they're in a studio. They built these walls. You can actually buy panels of wood that has bricks printed onto it. So it's actually not that hard to make sets like this. In fact, you can actually see there's a seam right here. That's where those panels would connect. That means that one of those pieces of wood isn't nailed down quite right. So they're no longer in line with each other. Like they're just like slightly off. So now you can see that back row, even just so slightly, you know? But I mean, regardless, it's still a beautiful shot. No one on earth is ever going to notice that unless you take a freeze frame. I didn't notice it while it was playing. You know, that's just something I'm just seeing right now that we're looking at the freeze frame. But still, it's a really cool shot. Super, super funny. They do a bunch, not funny. I don't know why I said that. I'm just filling up space here. But yeah, it's a great solo shot or even like a duo shot or whatever for the guys. The school bus down an alleyway. Simple as that. Like, see here, we got another one. Another great solo shot in front of the bus. Makes for really cool locations. Yeah, and from there on in, they just kind of hop back and forth between those sets. So that's pretty much it. Of course, the BTS boys, we got our fire on set. I love to point that out. I'm pretty sure it's been in every single music video we've seen from them so far. They definitely love their fire. Still have no idea what the ruling is on on the fire safety stuff in Korea, but it definitely runs a little bit different out here. I can tell you that for a fact. Let's see. Is there anything else I'm missing here? Yeah, I think that's about it. Obviously, like they have the shots of them kicking in the lockers and stuff. Those are all rented. You know, those would definitely be rental things that you can get. They're usually pretty beat up to begin with, so putting a couple extra dents in it, it's not really going to be a big deal. And then I wonder if I wonder who each one of these people are. I wonder if these guys are actually extras or if they are people who are working on the sets and all that kind of stuff and working with the electric team and all that. Maybe it could even be friends or family members. Who knows? But I know they said in earlier videos they definitely used a lot of people from their teams and family and stuff. So it'd be pretty cool to see who's who. Also, it's funny too. There's a few people that actually know how to skateboard in this, and then there's like guys in the background who are just holding them. Like at one point, there's a guy who's just shaking a skateboard up and down. It's like, what are you doing, dude? But it's stuff you're just supposed to be doing. When you're a background person, you're supposed to be just kind of filling space. There's a really famous clip of a guy, I think it was in Star Wars or something like that, where he's with a broom, but they didn't want him actually touching the floor and kicking up dirt. So he's just floating like, I don't know, half a foot off the ground, just brooming nothing, you know? But it's just like, it's busy work. People aren't supposed to notice that. They're supposed to be focused on the main guys, you know? But either way, breaks down into a really cool music video. And yeah, really well done for a relatively low budget video, you know? So don't get me wrong. Hopefully nobody takes it as a negative that they're low budget. But it is what it is. Moral of the story is you're going to work with what you have. And honestly, I think they made a really great video for what they were working with at the time. It's a really cool. It really gets to show that they're the cool guys in town and whatnot. And it's a fun introduction video to them, honestly. And it's another thing where it's like it's cool to look back on it and then just to see how far they come and see how like extravagant and elegant some of their music videos have become from then, you know. So I look forward to continuing on. We're gonna kind of do a couple of their older videos now. So I think the next one will be Bulletproof. Excuse me, We Are Bulletproof. So stick around and catch that one. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Please go ahead and look at all the links and stuff that we have going on down in the link tree down below. We got a Discord, we got Twitch, we got all the Instagrams and TikToks and whatnot. So if you ever feel inclined to be wanting to be up to date with all that kind of stuff, go ahead and click on some of those. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. I love you. Stay aggressively positive. We'll catch you on the next one. Have a great week and stay safe. Bye.